Hey everybody, it's May 22nd, 2012. I'll do a little garden update. This will be the 5th garden update, I think. These are purple bush beans. They're starting to come out, get pretty tall. They're starting to flower and should be having beans pretty soon. Carrots are growing really good, bushing out. I don't see any big roots yet, but we should soon. The peas have been putting out really well for peas, I guess, and at first I wasn't gonna let them make peas. I was just gonna eat the snap peas, but we changed my mind about that, and we're getting some big fat peas at this point. These bush beans are coming out good too. Shallots are growing. I've never grown shallots before. Collards, I've never grown those before. They're doing pretty good, I guess. Cucumbers are coming up pretty good. I thought they'd be longer by now. I've been cutting off all the side shoots, and this is all they're doing so far. Got a lot of flowers in one spot there. I don't know if maybe I should have cut some of those off so that the vine would get up to the trellis here. I don't know. This first year, and I guess live and learn, right? Bush beans are doing great. These are the ones I planted first. These two sections right here. They're the Kentucky Wonder pole type, obviously, and they're all the way at the top now, latching onto each other there, and hopefully we'll have some beans out of those soon. I've heard that if you plant them too early, or you don't plant them within the coordinates to the moon, that they won't produce beans. It upsets their rhythm or something, and they won't produce beans. But it looks like some flowers are starting to come out. I'm not sure if that's just all new growth or what, but hopefully they're going to make some beans for us. They go all the way down to the road. Several different kinds of beans. There's a fava bean that wouldn't fit in with the rest of them, and I left them in the cups too long, and they were starting to get a little bit of root rot, and this was the first one, or the worst one, I'm sorry. So I didn't have room for it anyway, so I just stuck it over here, away from the other ones. The sunflowers are humongous, the mammoth ones anyway. They're going to produce one flower, one big flower. The center of them are really soft to the touch. They've got ants crawling all over them, but they don't seem to be causing any problems, so I've left them alone. Looks like something's been eaten in there. Maybe I need to give them a spray too. I've been holding off on spraying them because I was wanting to conserve on the spray if I could. It's not cheap, and Looks like I may have to spray them too, but these two right here are the kind that make several flowers and bush out, or this one is anyway. You can see it's starting to put out growth out of where the leaf meets the stalk there. It's probably the best I've done with snapdragons there. They've been bushing out like crazy, and that's just one pot of them. There's several pots of them. Soybeans are looking really good. They don't seem to have many pest problems, and these are the type of soybeans that are grown for the edamame or whatever they're called that you buy in the grocery stores. Heat the pods up and eat them. They're really good to eat. And the peanuts, they're starting to flower, and they're doing really good. From my understanding, you're supposed to let them get a foot tall and then pile up dirt around them so that they grow really strange. The flowers, once they finish flowering, the little thing that the flower's on, or I'm not sure what it's called, but it'll go down into the dirt, and that's what makes the peanut kind of weird. It's the only plant I know of that does that. But hopefully we'll get a bunch of peanuts. These two right here are, this one is a orange watermelon. The flesh inside is orange. I've never even seen an orange watermelon before. I guess we will. But this one right here, I'm not sure what it is. Like all the other stuff, I'd marked the cups with permanent magic markers, and turns out they weren't so permanent. All the markings came off, so, or most of them anyway. So some of this stuff I don't have a clue what kind of squash or whatever it is, but you know, if you're not saving seeds, who cares? It'll be a surprise, I guess. But the fava beans are still growing great. I never have had any problem so far. This is the first time I've grown them, but I haven't had any problem with them growing, that's for sure. They grow vigorously. But as far as making the bean pod, I read on, or heard online that they won't set bean pods unless it's below 70 degrees, but it's been really hot and they're setting bean pods, so that's good. There's one right there. They're supposed to make a really big pod, and the beans inside are really big, and you eat the bean inside. But every time I look for beans, I'm seeing more and more, so that's good. I may not get a whole lot, but at least I'll get some. I've never eaten them before. I just want to try them. I may never grow them again if I don't like them, or anybody else doesn't like them. But these right here are the dwarf variety. They haven't been doing so great. This one does pretty good. Let's see if it makes any beans or not. I don't know. I had 4 pepper plants, green peppers, and I set them all 4 out too early, and 2 of them died, and this one looks pretty rough, and neither one of them has really gotten any kind of size to them yet. Maybe when it gets hot they'll take off. I don't know. It's hot now, but maybe later. All the summer squash is huge. I've got 3 zucchinis and one, this yellow one in the front, yellow crookneck, is a hybrid called Pick and Pick, and I see why, because it's putting out pretty good there. I planted 2 more Pick and Picks right here where the other 2 peppers were that died. Yeah, it's putting out pretty good. The first squash plants I got on both this Pick and Pick and the winter squash back there, the first squash was pollinated, but it didn't it didn't make it. It just shriveled up. I don't know if that's just a common thing or what, but you'll see the female flower has a baby squash, or you know, they call it an ovary. The male flowers don't have that. I don't see any at the moment. I cut a few off earlier today to pollinate with, but there's the stalk that's left from it. They don't have any fruit on them. If you want to ensure pollination, you pull the petals off and you just paint the female part of the female flower with the pollen, and that ensures pollination. But these zucchini are getting huge. I've cut a few leaves off of them to try to help out some of the older leaves. And I've got a bunch of zucchini and a couple of yellow squash in the refrigerator, and we're probably going to cook them up tomorrow. I can imagine how big these things are going to be by the end of summer. I've never grown squash quite this big. I don't know if it's the plastic or what, but I'm not arguing. So, got some sweet potatoes planted in plastic right here. They're doing good, bushing out. Some more bush beans right here. I don't know what kind they were. They're either Blue Lake, or there's a kind of grow called Derby bush beans or whatever. They're probably the best bush bean I've ever tasted. So strawberries getting huge. Putting out strawberries. There was a big fat one that I was waiting for it to get ripe, and came out yesterday, and a squirrel had jerked it off the stem and took a bite out of it and just left it. It hadn't even turned red yet, and I was pretty ill for several hours. As a matter of fact, I got over it though. But so I put this cage around it so they can't get in there anymore. Got more radishes coming up. Already harvested some already. They only take 30 days to maturity from seed, so I think they're the quickest growing vegetable there is. So I guess that's why they're so cheap. And in between them there, I planted some more carrots. I planted more carrots in here. I'm going by this chart I've got that tells, you know, when to plant what according to the moon phase and so forth. So hope that works out. Tomatoes. These are the indeterminate kind, which is the kind that grow long and tall, and you pinch the suckers off of to make them grow right. I may have cut too much off of them. I'm not sure, but I wanted to cut off everything below the trellis because it's not going to have support. Probably should have put the trellis lower. We're going We'll see how it goes. They still seem to be doing okay. They're growing, putting out tomatoes, and let's see. I don't have any. These are the beefsteak. I don't have any of them coming in yet. Just flowers. And the main reason I cut them back so much is because they're too close together. I really should have just planted one row here of 4 instead of 8. It's 4 on each side. Same thing with these. These are the Romas, but they're the bush top, so you don't pinch them back. And we have some baby tomatoes coming out on them. Hope to have a lot of those. They're good for sauces and so forth. Like I said before, this is the first year of the garden for me. We used to garden when we were kids at Grandma's house, you know, but I don't remember any of that stuff, you know. Once I got older, I didn't care about gardening or whatever, but now as I've gotten older, I see that it's probably a good idea to have some food growing in your yard these days, the way things are going. I have a biblical worldview, and my understanding is things aren't going to get any better. They're just going to get worse and worse, and I see that and have seen that throughout my life so far. Not that I'm negative. I'd love for things to get better. But you're going to get what you get, I guess. This is the winter squash, which is getting pretty crazy. We'll look at the watermelon first. These are sugar baby watermelon. They don't get that big. From what I've seen on YouTube, you can grow them up a trellis, especially if it's made out of metal and sturdy. So things are going well with it. I'm kind of concerned about fruit being down here below the metal. Is the vine going to be strong enough to support that fruit by the time it matures? I don't know. We'll see. If it's not, if it looks like it's not going to be, we'll just have to go from there. But the sugar baby vines aren't supposed to get but like 3 or 4 feet long. And I've been cutting off the side shoots so that I've just got one vine. And it's already 4 feet long, so, and it's May 22nd, so we've got the whole summer to go. So who knows what's going to happen with this deal. I may have this stuff running everywhere and have to crawl in here. I don't know, but they seem to be putting out a good amount of fruit. There's 2 more babies right there, right next to each other. I guess this is going to be a house of squash and melons before it's over with, but this stuff is growing like crazy. I've trained this one to go over to here because I planted them all together. Right here, too close together, of course. There's some kind of squash. I think it's a spaghetti squash. Not sure. I never eat that either. But, this one's putting out round female ovaries, so I'm assuming that is the sweet meat pumpkin or this other kind of really small pumpkin that I planted. But they're all the way to the top, and then some. I think they grow about 6 inches a day, it seems like, between the plastic and the fertilization and the care that I give them. Seem to be doing great. This is the blue squash. It's almost looking like wood down there. I'm hoping that by the time any fruit below the metal gets mature, that the vine will be like wood and will support it. So we'll just have to make it work. There's another sucker. Pinch it off. So we just got one continuous vine, but my battery's about to die. I need to get more batteries because we've charged and recharged these so many times that they're not holding the charge anymore. The onions, I didn't think they were going to make bulbs. It looked like the bulbs were rotted, but you can see I'm starting to get some bulbs there. So maybe the onions will turn out for the good as well. But I wanted to get down to the corn and show you the corn and the other squash down there and the potatoes. We'll do that on the next video because battery's about dead. We'll see you guys. Take care.